11 Most Famous American Authors by Capitalize My title September 7, 2021. During the 19th and 20th centuries, the United States produced several literary geniuses whose works defined and shaped Americana. You will likely find your favorites and perhaps discover new ones among this list of famous American authors.
Number 1. Mark Twain. Mark Twain is a famous American writer that is well loved by many. Birth date: November 30, 1835. Birthplace: Florida, Missouri, United States. Died April 21, 1910. Born Samuel Langhorne Clemens in the now abandoned village of Florida, Mark Twain was the sixth child of Jane Lambton and John Marshall Clemens. Samuel left school after the fifth grade to start a printer apprenticeship. He later received an honorary doctorate of letters from the University of Oxford in 1907. Twain achieved acclaim and money after writing humorous tall tales, like the Jumping Frog story published in New York's The Saturday Press. Famous works: The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, 1867, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1876, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, 1884. Number 2. F. Scott Fitzgerald. F. Scott Fitzgerald is a popular American writer known for his The Great Gatsby book. Birth date: September 24, 1896. Birthplace: St. Paul, Minnesota, United States. Died December 21, 1940. His birth name was Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald. He was the third child of Mary McQuillan and Edward Fitzgerald. Francis's early education prepared him for a writing career, including St. Paul Academy and Newman School. Those preparatory schools were followed by Princeton University. Although he left to join the Army during World War I, his talent was nurtured and honed from a teen to an adult, as he became one of the famous American authors of his generation. Famous works: This Side of Paradise, 1920, The Great Gatsby, 1925, Tender as the Night, 1934. Number 3. Ernest Hemingway. The A Farewell to Arms is one of the most famous books of American author Ernest Hemingway. Birth date: July 21, 1899. Birthplace: Oak Park, Illinois, United States. Died July 2, 1961. Ernest Miller Hemingway's mother, Grace Hall, was an opera singer, and his father, Clarence Hemingway, was a physician. He was one of 6 children they had. Ernest attended Oak Park and River Forest High School before joining the Red Cross during World War I. Hemingway became injured on the Italian front, and his time during the war inspired A Farewell to Arms. Hemingway received the 1954 Nobel Prize in Literature. He had been nominated 3 times previously. It celebrated his influence on contemporary writing, with The Old Man and the Sea cited as the most recent example at the time. Famous works: The Sun Also Rises, 1926, A Farewell to Arms, 1929, For Whom the Bell Tolls, 1940. Number 4. Toni Morrison. Picture of Toni Morrison, one of the most famous American authors. Birth date: February 18, 1931. Birthplace: Lorain, Ohio, United States. Died August 5, 2019. Chloe Ardelia Morrison was one of 4 children of Rama Willis and George Wofford. She attended Lorain High School, where she participated in the debate team, drama club, and the yearbook staff. Toni got her BA in English from Howard University and Master of Arts from Cornell University. In 1967, Toni Morrison became the first black woman editor for Random House's fiction department. She is one of the famous American authors to receive accolades in her lifetime, including the National Book Critics Circle Award in 1977, the Pulitzer Prize in 1987, the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2012. Famous works: Sula, 1973, Song of Solomon, 1977, Beloved, 1987. Number 5. J.D. Salinger. J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye is still one of the most famous books today. Birth date: January 1, 1919. Birthplace: Manhattan, New York, United States. Died January 27, 2010. Jerome David Salinger was one of 2 children for Marie Gillick and Saul Salinger. He attended public schools for several years before enrolling in the preparatory McBurney School. Jerome later attended Pennsylvania's Valley Forge Military Academy, graduating in 1936. The Catcher in the Rye has built a reputation as one of the greatest novels of the last century. It is number 15 on the BBC's The Big Read, while making both Time magazine's and Modern Library's list of top 100 English novels of the 20th century. Famous works: A Perfect Day for Bananafish 1948, The Catcher in the Rye 1951, Nine Stories 1953. Number 6. Edgar Allan Poe. Picture of Edgar Allan Poe, one of the greatest American authors. Birthdate: January 19, 1809. Birthplace: Boston, Massachusetts, United States. Died October 7, 1849. Edgar's parents were the actors Elizabeth Hopkins and David Poe. He became orphaned when he was 2 and subsequently raised by Francis and John Allan. Poe attended the University of Virginia for 1 year, leaving because of money issues. He later became a cadet at West Point but left to pursue writing. Poe is considered the first American writer that earned a living from his written works. History looks back to him as one of the famous American authors for his poetry, pioneering work in science fiction and the invention of the detective fiction genre. Famous works: The Murders in the Rue Morgue 1841. Lenore 1843. The Raven 1845.